right, so Ebony, what did the hippie blogger yell at the rally for writers' rights?
Oh my goodness, I have no idea.
Right on.
Right. Right on. I like it. Hippie blogger. I like it. I love your jokes. I just want you to know that before we even get into anything, I always look forward to that part of your broadcast when you do the
That makes
joke.
one of us.
Just to let you know, Taylor.
Thank you, Abby. Marion, we'll talk later.
I love. I'm sending him dad jokes, stupid dad jokes all the time, and he's probably like, "Oh yeah, I already got those, Melanie."
All right. Well, welcome to Ebony Sims. She's joining us today on the Masterful Morning Show. We're so delighted to have you here, Ebony.
Yay. Hi, everybody.
So Ebony is a blogger, a writer, a motivator. We met her in Sean Croxton community. We're in the book club together. And she has a very interesting story. I'm hoping she shares with us of her like career history, but she is a blogger. I love reading your blogs on a regular basis. And they are honest and true and authentic and real. And I love just how you present yourself authentically to the world, the good vibes, the bad vibes, and everything in between. But also just, I think even when you have those bad vibes, you can sense like your perseverance and your ability to keep going. And I think that is super inspiring. So I would love if you just opened up with kind of sharing with our audience who you are and what you do and what you write about.
Yay. Okay. So, yeah, and my blurb, it was kind of like I was telling you earlier, I was kind of not really saying, but I started off saying that I started in a factory, but that I actually was working way before then. I actually started working at Taco Bell, and then, you know, all your teenage jobs that you have. And then my mom was working in a factory, and she actually got me a job working for Ford Motor Company. And so I did that from 19 to 27. And at 27, I was like, they were offering a buyout for anybody who wanted to do a buyout. And so I was like, you know what? I know I don't want to be here for 30 years. I know I don't want to retire from here. There's something else out there in the world for me to do in life. So I'm going to take this buyout. So I took the buyout, I paid my house off, and then I just started floating from job to job. I did retail because I thought I would like that. I didn't like it so much. And then I actually delivered meals to senior citizens. That was my favorite, best job ever on the planet. I just didn't get paid enough and I needed to survive. So I had to look into something else. And then I went to Target and I ended up in human resources at Target, and I really loved human resources as well. But then after I left Target, then I got into the industry I'm in now, and I work with people with substance use disorder, mental health. And I'm really an administrative assistant, but I just got a new position. Now I'm a chemical dependency counseling assistant. I have my license, so I'll be starting teaching groups or facilitating groups. But in between all that, I actually went to beauty school twice, and I don't think anybody really knows that. I went to beauty school one time for esthetician, and I went to beauty school a second time for a nail tech. And I actually got to work in both industries. They didn't really pan off for me, but I actually worked at a barbershop when I had my manicuring license. So that was fun, and I'm still cool with them to this day. So then in between that, I started my blog, and I know you're gonna ask me questions, so I won't even go into that now. But in between that, I started my blog because I've always loved reading books, and I always loved writing. And I actually had written a couple articles for a local newspaper here that ended up, they stopped, they went out of publication, I guess. That was a choice of theirs. And so then of course I didn't write for them anymore, and I didn't pursue anything else, but I've always loved writing ever since I was a kid. So now I'm here with you guys, and I'm so happy.
Yay. That's so awesome. And with your writing in your blog, I mean, like Marion said, you become so vulnerable so quickly. Like it's easy. The first couple of sentences, I feel I'm right there with you, and you just completely open up. So your writing, your passion for it definitely shows through. But being that vulnerable and being open and having it out to the world, and with through some of the blogs, you kind of show like some insecurities with that. Can you look back at when you started your blog? Like, what were the thoughts that were going through your head? What made you want to go forward with it? And what was the resistance? What were the stories that were going in your head that might have been holding you back? Or did you even have that? Like, what was going on to get you to move forward and actually start doing this blog and writing, like, because, you know, your love for it?
Okay, so it's crazy. So the story of the blog is this. I was dating this guy, and I have an opinion about everything. I do. I have an opinion about everything. And every time I would be like, oh, this, that, and the other. And then it would be something else, this, that, and the other. He was like, you always have something to say. It's Ebony on this and Ebony on that and Ebony. So he was just saying these different topics that I always talk about. And I was like, that's perfect. Ebony on everything. Like, that's how I came up with it, literally from him saying that about me, because I do always have an opinion on something. So that's how I created the name Ebony on Everything for the blog. And the resistance was always that self-doubt that we have about, is anybody going to read it? Is anybody interested in anything that I have to say? You know, like, who even cares what I think, you know, besides the people who know and love me? So that was my resistance. And I actually had brought my domain name and, you know, set it up on WordPress and everything, probably like 3 months before I actually started writing on there. Because that was that resistance. Like, what do I talk about? What do I say? How are people going to receive me? And finally, I had we did an MS walk. We did an MS walk, and my mom came to town. My mom lives in South Carolina. She came to town. We had a big team. We had shirts. We did it big. I probably had about 20 to 25 people that was on my team that year. And it was just so touching to me and so inspiring to me that I decided that this will be the start of my blog. This and that day after I don't know if it was the same day or the next day, right after that MS walk, I put my pictures on there and I posted it. And that's when I started. That was in May of 2017. And I didn't even realize it. Somebody just told me that today, May of 2017, I put it out there and I broke through that resistance, but it still came back up plenty of times, because there would be periods of times, like when I first started my blog, that I wouldn't even write. It would be like 2 and 3 months at a time. I put nothing on there. And I'm like, why are you not saying anything? You have things to say, but it was still that. Who cares? Who cares what you have to say? So last year, the beginning of 2020, I said, every single month of 2020, I'm going to post 3 blogs a month, no matter what. I don't care. I'm coming up with 3 things a month to say. And when I started doing that, I started to grow in confidence. I got really confident in myself. And then people started reading it. They're like, oh, I like your blog. Oh, I like what you said about this. So now it was like, okay, now I got to tell everybody about it. Now I got to put it out there. So then I started sharing it more. I started a Facebook page for it and just really invited people into who I am and what I have to say, and realizing that people do actually care. They want to hear what I have to say. So that's a great thing. So now I'm consistently at least doing 3 posts a month. Sometimes I do more, but at least 3 posts a month, so that I can keep reaching out to people and telling people that I'm me and this is life and it happens.
Did you find it getting easier since you set that standard for yourself? Is it easier now to be able to maintain that?
Yes, it is. Yes, it makes me want to. And now, and especially when I see everybody's engagement, it really makes me want to, like, people are looking for you to say something, girl, because you always got something to say. So say it. So yeah, so it's definitely a lot easier now to do it. No hesitation, no more holding back, no more self-doubt.
Awesome. So Ebony, you've been writing about MS. What inspired you to write about MS?
So I have MS. So that's where it started. I have MS. I knew since I was 34, I got diagnosed. I'm sorry. I knew since I was 32, I got diagnosed at 34. So that's been almost 10 years that I've known that I've had MS. And so in the beginning, I was really resistant about talking about MS because I didn't want to, I don't want that to be who I am. It's just a part of my life. I don't want anybody to think that I'm down and out about it. It's always something on my mind. It's always taking me from living the life that I want to live. So I was kind of hesitant to really write about it. But then I said, it's part of me and I need to share it. I need to share it with people. I need to share it with the world so they know what it is. Number one, because a lot of people don't know what it is. I know I didn't know what it is until I got it. And just how you can still be normal and have a life even with MS. So that's what got me to writing about it. And so every year I do, for the MS Awareness Month, which is March this month, hey, I do blog posts the whole month about MS, just educating people, telling them about my journey, what things have changed with me, you know, anything like that. This month we're doing special though. I'm so excited. So this month, this year, I decided that I've talked about it enough from my standpoint. So let me open up my platform for other people to share their stories. So I invited different people who have MS to share their stories on it. So this month, it'll be a few guest bloggers. So we have a young lady by the name of Samantha. She's on there and she has some great stories. I love her blog posts already. I'm going to have another person, and I don't know if she wants to remain anonymous, so I'm not going to say her name, that's going to share a story on there. I have a child whose mother has MS, and then I have a wife whose husband has MS. And then a couple of my friends are going to share their stories about what it's like to have a friend who has MS that, you know, you've known them since you were growing up and they were this type of person, and how it affects them too. Because it does affect everyone around you when you have it. If they love you and they care about you, it's going to affect them. They're going to be concerned. They're going to be, you know, worried. They're going to want the best for you, making sure you're doing all the things that you're supposed to be doing so you don't get any worse. So it's just my journey that I want to share, and also allow other people to share their journey with MS if they would like to.
That's awesome. Well, Ebony, we've been in a mastermind together, and so we've been able to hold each other accountable to our goals and keep growing and pushing ourselves to new levels. And I would love to know, do you have any like routines in your life or any habits that you use to keep yourself going, keep yourself motivating? Any tips you can share?
Yes. So for instance, I attend Monday Mastermind. That is great. So I attend the Monday Mastermind. I attend Money Mind Academy on Tuesdays. And then on Wednesdays, I attend book club. So these are like my things that I do. They help me to change. I've changed so much with just being a part of these groups as a whole, just my mindset, who I am, the people I interact with, the people that I decide that I want to surround myself with. I mean, I've always been a little picky, but even more now I'm like, I need more people who think like me. Like, I love my friends. They're my friends. They're always going to be my friends no matter what. We all have a different way of thinking and a different way of doing things, but I feel like these things have opened me up so much into being a different person, a better person, a person that affects others as well. So the things that I learned from you guys, I can share with other people out there. Like, hey, I learned this when I was in this class. When I was in Mastermind, they said, oh, we do this. And now I was like, oh, like time blocking. I ain't there yet, Marian, but I'm gonna get there. But I would have never thought about time blocking. You know what I'm saying? So now I can share that with somebody else, even if I haven't done it yet. Like, hey, this is a good idea. I'm gonna start it soon, but just to let you know. So it's so great, the things that I learned from being in all these different groups and learning and growing. So that is always a motivator to me. My morning routine, kind of the way I set myself up is in the mornings, usually I wake up and I listen to some affirmations, activation. I think I want to say it was last year, Sonia Riccati. I bought one of her programs and she has a morning and an evening activation. So I'll listen to that when I wake up to just start my day, and it'll ask you, how do you want to start your day? How do you want to be today? And I'm like, it's always love. Every day, I always want to start my day with love. So that's just the one thing that I like. And it just reminds me to start my day with love when I listen to that morning activation. Other than that, one other thing, I do self-love day. So usually Tuesdays is my day off of work, and that is my self-love day. That's the day that I do whatever it is that I want to do for me, whether it's to take myself out to eat, whether it's to just relax and watch TV, whatever it is I want to do that day. My Tuesday is my self-love day for me. And that helps me keep the stress away, you know, to be able to go back to work the rest of the week and be like, okay, I got my self-love day and I'm good. I'll be nice to everybody. So yeah, but other than that, I'm not good with routines. I'm terrible. And I need to get better at it. Don't you challenge me, Melanie. I need to get better at it. So I do want to start some more routines, but right now, those are the ones that I do consistently. So I'm proud of myself with those.
You're doing great. You're doing absolutely great. So keep it up.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have any favorite books or mentors that you look to for inspiration?
Yes. So of course, who doesn't? Sean Croxton. That's one. I love Lisa Nichols. Dr. Brene Brown was life-changing for me. Literally life-changing. I did The Power of Vulnerability, which is an audiobook. I got that on Audible. Oh, oh my God. I don't even know how long ago. I cried, I laughed, I did everything with that. And I was like, yeah, you need to change and you need to become more vulnerable. And it shows in my blog now, as you can see what Melanie was saying. It made me be more vulnerable because I wasn't that person. I've never been that person. But I realized that to get the best that I want out of life, I have to do that. I have to open up that door and be more vulnerable and allow people in and allow hurt in, because you're going to get hurt when you're being vulnerable, but be okay with it and work through it and go past it to get to the other part of it, which is the love. So that is definitely, Dr. Brene Brown changed my whole life when I listened to that audiobook. And I have listened to it multiple times since then because it was so inspiring to me. I don't know. I think my favorite book was a couple of ones we did in book club. The Four Agreements was one of my favorite books, but it really pissed me off a lot as I was reading it. And I realized it pissed me off because I still needed to work on myself. It was things I needed to do. So I wouldn't have been getting mad if it wasn't speaking to me. But the one agreement that was so beneficial to me was be impeccable with your word. And that was beneficial to me because I'm one of those people who kind of have a filter, but not really. So I'm always saying stuff out of line. So I realize as long as I'm saying something that is true and I'm not saying it to hurt anybody, I'm being impeccable with my word, I feel like it's okay for me to say whatever it is I need to say. And then if they don't receive it well, it's not on me as long as I'm being impeccable with my word. And then what's the other one? Oh, I'm gonna show it because I got it right here on my desk. The Alchemist. This was such a good, I think this was the first book that I started with book club. That book rocked my world too. I cried in that book a lot. And I don't even like crying, but I cried in that book a lot because so many things happened to him and I was so emotional about it. Like, why is this happening? But it was so great to get to the end and see how everything that happened to him just developed him into a person. And that's how the person that he needed to be or was meant to be. And that's how I look at my life now. Like that book was so life-changing for me because a lot of times I'd be like, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Why are you not doing this? You should know this by now. You should this, I'm always down on myself about where I should be, especially as I get older. I'm like, why am I not here? But this book helped me to realize that every single step that I am taking is helping me to be the person that I'm meant to be in the future. If the bad things that happen, the good things that happen, no matter what happened, all of it's going to be who I'm meant to be. So I really like this book. This book was great for me and life-changing for me too.
Absolutely. I love like how you brought it full circle. And what stood out to me earlier is when you said vulnerability, if you're going to be vulnerable, you're going to get hurt. I believe that to be true. But also, I mean, if you're not vulnerable, when you close up, don't we hurt anyway? Like there's still a pain there. So it's like, why not be vulnerable? You're still going to be feeling pain a certain way, but to be vulnerable and open up, you're going to grow and get the lessons instead of staying stuck and closed off. So it has that circle effect as well there. So that's super powerful. And I'm glad you moved forward with such vulnerability. It's so beautiful.
Thank you. Yes, that is true. Everything you said, you're going to get hurt no matter what. So at least you can process through it when you know that you're going to get hurt.
Well, and that's the thing, like how you pointed out, how you said you had that resistance with the book. It's kind of like a hurting, right? Like there's a pain there. You're angry because there's a pain there. So you're going to get hurt making that statement. If you make statements like that, it's going to show up in your reality. But the reason why we hurt, the reason why resistance comes up, it's because of those lessons that we have to learn. So as we go through lessons and as we learn it and as we grow and become more and more enlightened, then I truly believe the less we'll encounter that pain. So as we move forward and be vulnerable and grow, then that's getting us to a more joyful state and a happier state. So just letting it flow and learning the lessons and growing and looking into that resistance, looking into that pain, seeing what it means. Absolutely. It's so powerful.
Yes, it is. I agree.
So we have a live audience here today. Kimberly McCormick says, self-love day, yes. Vanessa
Yes.
Thomas says, this is so inspirational and the love that you have. So Ebony, why don't you remind us, where can people connect with you and read your stuff?
Okay, so my blog page is Ebony On Everything, www.com, Ebony On Everything, I'm like www.com, www.ebonyoneverything.com. I'm also on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. I'm sorry, people. I don't really post a lot on either of those, but you can always reach me. I do have Messenger, so if you need to message me on my blog post, you can always leave a comment. My email is usually on there. It'll get to me and I can respond. On Instagram, I do like to share a lot of pictures of nature. So you will rarely see me on there, but you will see nature on there. And I'm on there. I go on there. It's just not big for me. I think more of I love interacting with people in person. It's my thing. I'm more of an in-person thing. I come across better in person. Sometimes I don't come across great when I am texting or writing. It just depends on it. So, but definitely you can reach out to me on Instagram. It's ebony.sims, and then it's Ebony Sims on Facebook. And then, like I said, my blog, Ebony On Everything. So that's where you can find me.
Awesome. Maria Porter says, amazing young lady. And we're so delighted that you were able to join us, Ebony. I'm glad that we got to kick off MS Awareness Month with you. And I've already started enjoying some of those blog posts this month.
Yes, I know. Hers was so, oh my goodness, it was so great. It was so great. I finally read it. I said I was going to cry. I didn't cry when I read it. I did start crying the first couple times I was trying to read it, because I was like, oh my goodness, I've never really read someone's MS story like that. So it was like, but it was good. She did great. It didn't make me cry. I'm okay. We'll see how the rest of the month goes. Yeah, and then I'm wearing, I don't think anybody realize it, but I'm wearing orange. It's MS Awareness Month, and this is our color. And this is one of my MS shirts. So I just thought I'd let y'all know that.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I told Ebony, I don't think I own anything orange. Otherwise I would go throw it on. But thank you so much, Ebony, for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I love you guys. You are so great. You're so inspirational. And I don't know, some people that are watching that know me don't know y'all, but everybody's from different places. Taylor, aren't you from Australia? So yeah, I just want people to know you can connect on so many levels with so many different people around the world. You never know. And I just appreciate you for having me on here and for being a part of my life and for helping me grow, even if y'all don't know it. Because listen, on Monday Mastermind, I'll be like, I got to have my stuff done because Marion is going to be asking me, did I do it? So that accountability piece just changes everything. So I just appreciate y'all for helping me grow as a person and being able to get out here and influence other people and affect and touch other people based on some of the things that I learned from y'all. So I appreciate you. I love y'all.
Oh, we love you too. More love coming in from our audience. Carrie Irene Crosby says, that's a lost art, in-person communication. Kudos. And Sharon Garman says, you are such an inspiration.
Yay.
And yes, I'm in
Absolutely.
Pennsylvania. Talos is in Australia. Melanie's in Utah. And we've never met before. I've never met you before, Ebony. One day we will meet and we will hug and it'll be amazing. But then it's all the Zooms.
Right. Yeah. But I like it. I'll stick with the Zooms for now. We'll all be safe.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
All right. Love you all.
Thank you.
Love you. Thank you. Thank you so much.